Hi everyone, this is Jane here from Crystal Sparkles Readings. I'm just here to pop down our cards for the week. So let's have a shuffle and see what we have going on for next week. Okay. So let me just pop down. The first card which we have here is the 10 of Wands. So the 10 of Wands is quite a sort of high stress card, really. It's a card that is talking about, when I get the 10 of Wands, it almost says to me, right, don't take anything else on. You've got enough on your plate right now, so you don't need to be taking anything else on. And sometimes that's hard for us to do, you know, especially if you're a person that likes to help other people out. It's hard to say no to people sometimes, but this week looks like it's going to be the sort of week where you might have to say no. I'm not going to be able to do that this week for you. I can't do that, but I could do this. And about being able to be boundaried about where you put your energy, because it looks like the beginning of this week could be quite high stress in terms of getting things done. The Wands cards are all about action and doing things and getting stuff done. When you've got the 10 of Wands, that is just like, you know what, I can't do any more. I've got to keep going on the path to finish off the things that I have started, and I can't take anything else on right now. So I think there's an energy of needing to be a little bit mindful of that, a little bit of self-care, a little bit of boundaries, and just, you know, not taking on too much. Especially what I would always say with the 10 of Wands is especially not taking on other people's stuff. If it's not your circus, they are not your monkeys. So let me just have a little shuffle of, I'm going to use this beautiful, this is the Heaven and Earth Tarot. I'd used this for a little bit last year, right at the end of the year when I first got it. I think it was right at the end of the year. Might have been just before we started with spooky decks. But I don't feel like I used it enough. So I'm going to use this one for a couple of weeks. And then I've got a new one that I need to do a walkthrough of. So I'm not buying many new decks at the moment. There haven't really been any really exciting decks that I have felt like I couldn't live without. So I haven't really been looking at them too much, and because I've got loads of decks, and to be honest with you, I don't use them all enough. I try and slot them in and kind of interchange them when I'm doing these monthly readings, weekly readings. But I mostly just use my Faulkner deck because this is my kind of go-to. This is the deck I use for all my clients. This is the deck I use when I'm working on the phones. It's the deck I use for myself. And the other decks kind of intersperse into that. Sometimes I'll just use one for myself. But, you know, mostly I do stick with the Faulkner deck. So I don't really use the decks I have got enough. So I'm trying to just keep the deck purchases down a little bit, so I really don't need any more. But the one, having said that, the one that I picked up, I actually picked this up about a month or so ago, and I had my eye on it for ages and just decided, I had a really bad day one day and I just thought, you know what, get yourself a present. So, you know, I know that's not the answer to everything, but, you know, made me feel better. So let's have a little look at what the Heaven and Earth Tarot has in store for us today. I do still have my tarot wish list and everything, so I found that a really useful way is if you are kind of a bit of a collector and you get too much of something, and just putting it on your wish list and giving yourself time to actually think about it rather than impulse buying, that works for me. And also it's quite handy when you have a birthday or something coming up, you can give people your wish list and they can treat you to something off of there. Everyone is a winner. Right, so let's see what we've got here with our Heaven and Earth Tarot. Now, the only thing is with this, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to work out what is what. This is the Five of Wands, though, and the message here is strife. So, you know what? I think we have to be a bit mindful of our energy this week from these cards that I've got here, because these do look like we have got some tricky energy at the beginning of the week. It looks a bit tricky, I would say. So definitely I feel like I want to be more careful with my energy. I don't really feel like I want to be doing too much. Again, the energy with the Five of Wands is very much about not your circus, not your monkeys. It's too many cooks spoil the broth often with the Five of Wands. So yeah, I just think be mindful of that, because we are just really needing to slow it all down and to just be gentle. Be gentle with yourself. And we've got this sort of quite heavy, lots going on, too much going on, too many people involved. It's all a bit much. So absolutely be mindful of that energy. Let me just pull an oracle card. I decided to use the Arboretum Oracle again this week. I absolutely love this deck so much. It is so cute. If you haven't seen it, this is the deck. Okay, check it out. If you like an oracle deck, check it out, because it is just beautiful. Really beautiful. So let me just have a little look and see what this lovely, it's going to really pop out because this is a proper colourful deck and these cards are quite dark so far. Let's have a look and see what the Arboretum has to offer us. Growth. Okay, so that's a much more positive energy. So I feel like we've got a tricky start to the week, not going to lie. But towards the end of the week, we have this growth. So sometimes, now this doesn't help when you're going through difficult times, when people say this to you. But nevertheless, I think it's true. Quite often when we're going through these horrible, tricky energy, too much going on, too many people getting involved, when we go through that, that has lessons to teach us. And quite a lot of the lesson is, if you don't have to get involved in something that isn't directly involving you, just don't. Because why would you? It's not helpful. It's not helpful to your energy. If it absolutely does concern you and you have to stand your ground, then by all means do that. If you don't have to and it doesn't, sometimes our growth is being able to just step away and say, you know what, that is not for me to worry about, so I'm just not gonna. Yeah, so there's growth to be had within this week, and it just feels like maybe part of that growth is I'm just not going to get involved in things that really I don't need to get involved in. That's the way I grow, and that's the way I look after my own energy. Okay, so let me just put down a card from Brian and see what Brian's got to say. Okay. Okie dokie. Showtime. So it gets much better towards the end of the week, thank goodness. It's a sticky start to the week, not gonna lie. We then have this time of kind of like, well, you know what, I didn't need to be involved in that, I'm glad I didn't get involved. That kind of growth. And then we've got showtime. Showtime is, wow, results, things are really happening for you. So we are rewarded at the end of the week for our energy pushing through, getting through this sticky bit and then just kind of powering on into our power, just really stepping up and just not letting anything else or anybody else pull us down, because at the end of the week we've got showtime, which is absolutely fantastic. So thank you for that, Brian. Hope this has helped. If the beginning of the week feels a bit sticky ropey for you, know that the end of the week is going to get better, and just step back from things you don't need to get involved in. That's the overriding message that I'm getting for you today. So thanks ever so much for watching. If you like this kind of thing, please subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. I've also started a different channel looking at doing craft projects, arts, crafts, mainly junk journals. The channel name is Jane's Journals, and I'll link it down below. So if any of you are interested in that kind of thing, or would like to just come along and support me in something else that I'm doing, that would be really wonderful. Had some weird things going on there with subscriptions. Had a few people subscribe, and then the subscriptions disappeared, and I don't know whether people maybe get a message that the subscription is something you pay for. It really isn't. It's just like following on TikTok or on Facebook. It's just a follow. It's not you don't pay me money or anything. So yeah, so it's it was a bit weird. So if you did subscribe to my other channel, have a check back and see if you've maybe unsubscribed by mistake, or maybe you just wanted to unsubscribe, and that's fine. But it just seemed a bit weird because I had people pop up and then they disappeared the next day. Really strange. So yeah, if you wouldn't mind popping along and subscribing, liking those videos as well to support me, that would be really fantastic. Thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.